Thank you for staying with us. The race for the 2023 elections is getting hotter, and one aspect that has attracted more attention is the battle for the presidential ticket for the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. At the last count, 25 aspirants have indicated interest to contest the party's presidential primary. One of them is the former governor of Imo State, Senator Okorocha, who will be having the Imo West Senatorial District Senator on the show today for discussion on the 2023 presidential race and other issues. Jide, tomorrow is the deadline, and we thought the All Progressive Congress, they said they wanted to streamline the number of aspirants with the 100 million naira. We never knew that it was going to be something, 100 million naira was going to look like chicken feed at the end of the day.
Yes, like the kind of money that you spend buying a bean cake, a wakara. That's what they turned it to. I can't understand.
We're still counting.
I can't understand the APC anymore.
As of 5 minutes ago, we're still counting.
Yes, there were those who did it during the weekend. We are now hearing that some people did it for a reluctant aspirant, an aspirant who never told you he was interested. You go and buy form for someone and start looking for him.
400 million naira.
400 million. People, I don't know.
In a country that over 100 million people are under poverty level.
We are a strange strain of Homo sapiens in our country. Because I can't explain it. That you are now looking for him, you are saying he's incommunicado. Something is wrong with you. You take money, you say you bought form for someone, the person didn't tell you to go and buy form for him. After you paid that kind of money,
you couldn't dash 100 people. 1 million.
If someone says, if people are dying from kidney failure and they request for money, these kind of individuals will not show up.
No.
We see people who raise alarm about their state of health, invariably they die. Rich men who have so much money, a lot of it stolen, who cannot show mercy. We have them in abundance in our country. Strange people. You are now, you are even not ashamed to say he's incommunicado. Did he send you to go and buy form for him? Or you people are just playing a game? Because what we are seeing is clear that there is a game. There is a game. And in the fullness of time, Nigerians will see what kind of game it is.
A lot of people are looking at the level of insensitivity of the ruling party in all this. That at this moment, when you have over 33% unemployment rate and hyperinflation, 15-point-something% all-time high, and people are just eking out living all across the country.
It is unfortunate that we have reached this sorry pass in the history of our nation. It is unfortunate for two reasons. Because in 2015, a lot of people put their premium hope on APC, basically to take us away from the level of flagrancy that we saw under the PDP administration. But it turned out that they put a new spin on an old problem. But let me say this, like Jide said, the way the money is being doled out, I doubt it seriously whether it's not from a common boss.
Yes.
Because I doubt it if it's not.
Yes.
It doesn't look like
individuals.
We know some of these individuals. We know them.
Yes.
And we know it's not
possible. We know
possible.
Those who had collapsed financially before.
So
who are now
there's
telling
no
us
way
that they paid
this will be money
100 million naira
from their personal pockets now. I think somebody somewhere is the puppeteer. We're moving lots like puppets. And saying, okay, you come and take 100 million and go and spray. Like some people do for musicians. You come and take this 100 million and spray. So that you two will look good in front of the camera. Because if you are going to say, because right now, this is 2.5 billion alone from
presidential.
That's what I'm saying.
It's above that already.
Yeah.
Because given those who
just
entered.
So and I think before
that figure is Saturday figure. Saturday night figure.
I'm sure the party is going to rake.
Because Jide, I tell asking you that, let's say there's going to be what Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is requesting for one man, one vote. How do they intend to manage this kind of primary? Although they've told us that they have 48 hours given that they gave INEC, but that does not necessarily mean that. But at the end of the day, what is he panning out? How can they manage this kind of?
It's a happy burden for the national chairman and his people. They need money to run the party. Somebody was telling me that the party was broke, you know, and so now
they have more than enough.
They have more than enough. Expectedly, from about 30 billion will come in.
Yeah. From the way things are going.
Yes.
National Assembly.
National Assembly.
Senatorial House of Assembly.
Senate. Like 2-3.
Yes.
Minimum.
So let's see, 100 million in 30 places. From the look of things, we could get to 30. At the rate they are going, we could get to 30. 100 million.
By Wednesday morning,
100 million in 3 places. That they could get up to 15 billion in the
presidential nomination fund.
No, everything. They could get up to
everybody. House of Assembly, Senate.
Could get up to 15 billion, not up to 30 billion. 15 billion.
Okay.
3 billion possibly for presidential race alone. But if you have 360 House of Assembly,
House of Representative members, and the number of people that will come out from each of the constituencies.
Some for a particular position, you could have up to 3 or 4 or 5. You know, so they will be smiling to the bank. It's a lot of money for them.
Okay, without wasting time, now let's join the former governor of Imo State, Senator Okorocha from Abuja, for discussion on politics and the race for the 2023 election. Thank you for joining us, distinguished Senator Owele Rochas Anayo Okorocha. My people, my people. Distinguished Senator, are you there?
Owele Rochas.
I'm here.
Rocha,
Live and direct.
our senator,
How are you, my people, my people?
Okay. Let me start by asking you now.
Good to see you again.
With the 2023 presidency, do you think the clamor for a president of Igbo extraction is realizable in this 2023?
looking at the 2 big parties.
Dominant parties.
First, let me thank you again for having me, and God bless Nigeria. Let me also emphasize here that I am in this race because of my love and my passion and vision for this great nation called Nigeria. So understand that. And I'm not contesting for president because I'm an Igbo man. I'm contesting for president because I feel I have the capacity to change the ugly narratives about our country. And so this issue of Igbo presidency has been over-dramatized, and it's almost looking like a joke. People have tried to trivialize this clarion call to have a president of Southeast extraction. So it is realizable. That's my first answer to you. It is realizable because justice and equity demands that. But you know, all these steps being taken by different political interest groups, trying to douse it and make it look like a non-serious matter. That's why you see a lot of people from different ethnic groups and different tribes and everybody trying to buy the farm. In other words, it will look like, listen, the North is buying, South is buying, Southwest is buying, everybody's buying. So why the emphasis on the Southeast president and all that, Nigerian president of Southeast extraction? So these are all political strategies to douse it and make it a non-serious matter. But it is realizable for as long as there is somebody from the Southeast who has the capacity and who has the vision to drive the affairs of this nation and make it better, and who is acceptable
and somebody who can unite this nation, I think it is realizable.
Letting the presidency go to the southeast will be in line with justice and equity. I need you to throw more light on that.
Justice and equity, in this case, means that what is good for A is good for B. If you recall, since our nascent democracy, that no Igbo man or Southeasterner has held the position of the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If you recall, people have said a lot to you. That is either from President Olusegun Obasanjo of Southwest, to President Yar'Adua of Northwest, to President Jonathan of South-South, to our dear President Muhammad Buhari. And it has been just going from north to south. But now that he goes back to the south, where the Yorubas, Southwest has had 16 years by the end of this tenure of the presidency, and the South-South has had 8 years, and the Southeast never. I mean, that's just an equity. But the core of most important is that this nation was built on a tripod of the Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and these two arms have a feel of this presidency. I think it's only fair to give the Southeast a sense of belonging. But that is not where I'm coming from as a person. There are quite two different things you're asking. I'm coming there because I think I have the capacity, I have the wherewithal to fix this nation and make it a great country. You know, when the Igbos talk about marginalization and they don't feel like they are part and parcel of this country, I agree with them. Take for instance now, even in the 9 key positions we have in this country, the president, the vice president, the Senate president, the Speaker of the House, the Chief Justice of the Federation, the Secretary of Government of the Federation, the Chairman of the party, the Deputy Senate President, the Deputy Speaker, all 9 positions seated. You will not see anybody from Southeast. I mean, that's enough justification that something is wrong. There's no fairness and equity in this case. But I think that will be corrected. I think Nigerians understand what equity and justice means.
Senator, the issue of zoning has become very problematic and thorny in this particular electoral cycle. Why do you think the two major parties are shying away from zoning the presidential tickets to the south as expected, based on convention?
I can't get it. Why is it the south?
The two dominant parties, why are they shying away from zoning the presidency? Just like they've done in the when it's now the turn of choose the president.
Well, I can't tell, but let me be honest to you. What I can deduce from the current political situation, the APC is thinking that the PDP will produce a candidate from the north. For that reason also, they need to produce a candidate from the north. And that's why they've been very silent about that. But that doesn't add up at all. I think it's a political miscalculation in this case, because Nigerians have gone beyond their tribal sentiments and to the issue of the hunger that and the poverty and insecurity that ravage our nation. So that calculation is not absolutely correct and right, and I think that's what is happening. And that's why you see so many aspirants are coming up. Most of these aspirants coming up are not really going to run for president, and some of them want to negotiate for vice president, and some of them want to negotiate for key positions. So on that day, you might see a lot of presidential aspirants stepping down, falling on each other to have, so to say, candidates to run the election. This is what we're going to see manifests as time goes by, and you might likely see that at the end of it all, you're going to have, unquote, a presidential candidate, aspirant that is supported by the government, and you have a presidential aspirant that is supported by the Nigerians, and you have another presidential group of presidential aspirants that feel that they can bulldoze their way with the powers they have. This is the scenario that's likely to appear. But let's watch as things, politics unfold. But this time around, I think Nigerians are getting wiser to understand that they have to speak for themselves now, because in the past, leaders have directed them and they have not gained much from it. So I think Nigerians are willing to look at things differently this time around.
Like a follow-up to that is, what's going to be the implication of this indecision on zoning by the APC and PDP?
What's the implication of
Well,
the...
if I understand your question,
Yes, what's the implication of this delay in taking a definitive decision?
Taking a stand on zoning?
well, that shows that a lot of interest is at play. So many small pocket of group of interests is coming up now. And there's no holistic arrangement, because if there's so many divisions. Like in APC, you have different patches of interest, unlike before. You have maybe 2, but now there are several of them, over 10 interest groups, and each one trying to bring about the government of the day in 2023. So that's what's leading to this indecision. But eventually, it might look like if what I said before does not apply, then you might see a situation where it will be to attend to Israel. Everybody will go to the field and contest, and that might be the best thing that will happen to the democracy of Nigeria.
Now, in the last 1.5 weeks, we have seen a host of individuals going to buy the expression of interest and nomination forms of the APC. It costs 100 million, but these individuals are going to pick these forms, and they are, at the last count, they are already more than 25. Do you see this as a positive development? How do you view? Were you expecting something like this? You've been involved in presidential primaries before. Does it not shock you that there are so many people this time around wanting to contest for the presidential ticket of the APC?
Okay, let me give you the proper scenario. Maybe this can help our communication. One, they'll have 3 categories of aspirants. 70% of the aspirants are those who believe that they can be anointed by the presidency. Now, this is why numerous of them. You have them coming from southwest, southeast, the north, everywhere. Some of them are within this group are also saying, listen, if I don't make the president, the presidency will either anoint me for vice president or president. So that's why you have a barrage of people buying forms, and these people are not even, they are not considered an aspirant, so to say. They only become an aspirant when the presidency makes a pronouncement on them. So you don't see them talking to anybody or doing anything that shows they want to run for election, except TV appearances, and that's it. That's one group of aspirants. Now, the other group of aspirants is aspirants who believe that they have wherewithal, what it takes to bulldoze their campaign, irrespective of the presidential directive. They're going to get this thing done to the end. This is another set of aspirants, and what engineers this group of people is the money in the bank and the financial powers they control, not necessarily the popularity they enjoy. Then you have another group of aspirants who are the darling of the masses, darling of the people, who are believing that the people will give them the power. So here you have three people. One, the presidency will give them the power. Another people, their money will give them the power. The third group, that the masses of people of Nigeria will give them the power. This is the three categories of people that you see. And that's what we see playing out right now in this the dispensation. And so, for the people that are waiting for the presidency, the moment the presidency announces one person, all of them will collapse into that person, hoping to either get vice president or get a political appointment thereafter. And the other group of people who think their money will go for it and put so much stake, they want to see their money worth at the end of it all. And also the people who believe that the masses can support them will also take it to the end. So you see, that's what you're going to see going to play out in the final analysis.
Now, where do you stand in all of this? How confident are you that you can win the presidency or even put up a good showing?
So, you know what's my strength? And outside my belief in the people of Nigeria is that I believe that power belongs to God and power belongs to the people. This is just my driving force. And if Nigerians are expected to cast their vote the way they feel, I don't have any competitor in this case. And I'm being honest to you. And that is exemplified from the fact of what you see. That I believe that eventually the people of Nigeria will speak in this matter. This is where I think I have my strength. And when that happens, then you see democracy at play. So that's my strength. And I've been in this thing, like you said before. I have run for election. I've run for presidency under MPP, under PDP, and under APC, and I've made a good outing in this. So I'm not a new name in Nigerian politics. And there's hardly no nook and cranny of this country you go and mention Okorocha that people have not formed the opinion about my person. And I think my track record is what is above all my greatest strength of it all. People can easily trace to what I've done in the education sector. People have seen what I have done in making estates. People can see what I've done in the legislative arm of government. So Nigerians already have made up their mind and understand who I am and what I represent. And that is my confidence.
Senator, there's disunity in so many chapters of the party across the states, including your own state of Imo State. Do you think this will not affect the party going forward?
Now come again, I can handle it. That is, if I do what?
I said that a lot of disunity in various state chapters of APC, including that of Imo State. Do you think this will not affect the party going forward?
No, I don't think it will affect the party. Eventually, the party will produce a candidate. And it depends on who is the candidate of the party and whether such a candidate of the party can face the PDP candidate. That's what is important. And after the candidate emerges, it's no longer about the party, it's about the candidate. And this is what is very important at this point that we should discuss with Tito Joy and their group and all of you, my friends up there. You see, there's nothing that we are talking about now in this presidential campaign that we have spoken about 20 years ago, even beyond 20 years, the time of Shagari to this day. It's been the same campaign slogan, the same issue of insecurity, the same issue of hunger, unemployment, youth restiveness. So it has become part of our national anthem. And this is what everybody has said. So nobody says something different. So you have what I call a textbook and academic aspirants who just present an academic papers for discussion. And I see how you, the journalists, chew it and take it in and take it to bamboozle the society without actually finding solution. I don't think that matters. What Nigeria are asking for now is that we are sick. We have a problem. We need a doctor that can fix our health. We need somebody that can solve the problem of this country. That is what is paramount in the minds of Nigerians now, more importantly than anything else. And so until we understand the problem facing this country, you can't find solution. Because I hear my folks and other people speaking about the problem of this country, and some of them come up and say, look, I'm going to increase more number of security men, I'm going to fight insurgents, I'm going to change power to 100 megawatts, I'm going to do, they speak all kinds of things that gives me headache when I listen to you guys on television. Can everybody, for God's sake, for once, keep quiet? And let us address the problem of this country, because we're getting tired. There's nothing any of them is saying now that we didn't say years back. GDP is poor, unemployment is high, inflation is high, poverty is high. We're the terrorist country of the world. What is the solution? I mean, this is why I come in. I come in. Because nobody, I've listened to 90% of the aspirants. Nobody has convinced me that they have solution. And if I see anyone, then I have no reason to be in this competition. Nobody seems to address that matter. But rather we're talking about political parties and zoning and 100 million and what. This is what occupies the television everywhere. Otitoju and my friends out there, can you, for God's sake, begin to address the issue that is facing this country, which are three basic things, and remain there for God's sake, and find somebody who has the necessary qualification, with track records, and who has an antecedent that he can do this. Because it is easier said to say, I will, I will. Look at all the slogan, I will do this, I will do this. Can they keep quiet? Tell us what you have done before. I mean, this is my anger, my grouse with them. And everybody's been deceived. How many times have I had I will in this nation, and we're still suffering? What is the solution? Take for instance, I challenge you gentlemen, if I say that the problem of this country is unity of this country, and Rocha's culture will fix the unity of this country and make us one nation, you agree with me? Because I've dramatized it. I've through my foundation, I've reached out to the north, to the southwest, to everybody. That shows that we are united. Rochas is uniting Nigeria through education. How about that? Let every aspirant say to you what he has done in the past to unite this country. Number two, I mean, that's it. If today we have 14.5 million children out of school, which means in the next 15 years, we'll have about 14.5 million likely Boko Harams. Imagine. And coming up. And you are telling me you are going to fight insecurity where you have not closed the source of insecurity. But if I say to you, I will make education free, believe me. Because if any aspirant says I will make education free, check in his hometown how many children or how many of his neighbors' kids has he ever put to school. And now you want to give education to the whole nation free when you have never in your history giving any single person free education outside your children. But here am I with over 25,000 children, over 5,000 Yorubas, over 10,000 Fulanis, over 10,000 Igbos. I'm still counting free education. So Nigeria should believe me. Precisely what I mean by track record. If you say you need a leader who has compassionate heart, that's the three things. Who among them has compassion for this nation? You see, you make a mistake to think that political power will change anybody. It doesn't change you. Presidency can't change who you are. If you're a wicked man before you become president, you become presidential wicked man. If you're a criminal, before you become president or governor, you become excellency criminal. If you have a poverty of mind, you become excellency poverty. You can't give what you don't have. In law, we say you can't give what you don't have. So begin to check your candidates, aspirants, from their track record quickly to help this nation. Television stations, am I communicating? Hear me and hear me out. Because you guys on the line of deceiving Nigerians, once more again, that will get us back to the same singing of songs of failure in our nation without any remedy. How many of you understand that the problem of Nigeria is not insecurity, is not all things that you mentioned? These are the symptoms of the disease. The problem you have in your country is that you don't have adequate wealth. You can't create wealth to meet up with the rising population of your country. Take, for instance, in New York, a city of New York, with 8 million people are boasting of $101 billion budget. 8 million. Nigeria, with 206 million people, are talking about budget of $29 billion. Now, our ID budget is supposed to be $2 trillion compared to our population. That is why you see every past government looks like it's better than the other government. Now, we celebrated Basenjo when Jonathan came in. We celebrate, Yar'Adua came in. We celebrate Jonathan, Yar'Adua when Jonathan came in. Now we're celebrating Jonathan when Buhari came in. And now we're going to celebrate Buhari the highest when another president came in, because there are insufficient funds. Excuse me, get somebody who can create wealth. I have only one point agenda, gentlemen, is to create wealth for this nation, and I can do it. And how do you know who can create wealth? Check the president. Go and check our conduct bureau list and see how many people became something before they came to government. Rochas is Rochas before government. But most of these aspirants are product of government, who made money from government and want to go back to government and buy people in government and come back to government. This doesn't help us. So I want us to be changing our questions to finding solutions. This country is sick. It needs a doctor with the requisite knowledge and track record to heal the nation of his wounds, economic wounds, he had to say.